Reginald Wilson, it's so good to see you.
Hey.
Now, we're here in the East Village for the dress rehearsal for Sugar Ray. Tell me how we got here on this day for this dress rehearsal.
Real quickly, the show was birthed back in 2016 in Harlem at the original site of Sugar Ray Enterprises. Bernard Ruby had brought the whole block just the way Sugar Ray did it, and he had a restaurant, a bar. He had everything that Sugar Ray had, and we did the play in a suit. So it was more of a presentation, like Sugar Ray is back, Sugar Ray is back. We did that. I ran that version of the play for about a year. While I was at a BTN conference, Black Theater Network conference, I did a small excerpt from the play. And the current director, Mr. Luther Wells, was there. He's also my advisor from undergrad school, FAMU, in Tallahassee. And I got called back to Tallahassee for my family. I had some family things going on, so I had to leave New York and go back to Florida. And while I was in Florida, I didn't want Sugar Ray to die, so I called Mr. Wells, and I asked him if he could look at it and try to do something with it. Woody King Jr. is the original director.
Yeah.
So I got with Mr. Wells, and Mr. Wells, you know, he's always been a hard director for me. He's always been like a delve deeper. So he wanted to lose the suit and do it the way that you saw it today.
Right. So I was in Florida, and we workshopped it. We workshopped it with the idea back in 2019, and it worked out. And it took me a while because, you know, I'm producing as well. So it took me some time, you know, to get the monies together, things like that. And now we're here. I have history in this theater, the Gene Frankel Theater. I did Miss Julie here. Yeah.
I have history here, so that's why I said, you know, if I'm going to do a theater, it has to be intimate. Let's do the Gene Frankel.
So now, how long have you been in acting?
I've been acting for about, I always tell the story, the time that I can remember as my first time performing. I was 4 years old, and I played Luferino, and I was really skinny, so it was all comical, because I was really skinny, and my mom had me flexing as if I was the strongest person in the world, and it was the funniest thing ever, and the attention that I got from it was just surreal, and I always wanted to be the center of attention.
So now, when the pandemic hit, you were probably very, very busy. What was creativity like for you during the pandemic?
Well, when the pandemic happened, I was actually over in Portland, Oregon, and I was doing a Dominique Morrisseau's play. I was doing Pipeline. And when COVID first came, I don't know if you remember, but it started out over in the West Coast.
Yes, yes.
It was Seattle, Washington, and then it came to Portland.
That's right.
So, you know, we had our fear going on, but the play was still going. So then we started social distancing over in Portland. And we decided to close the play on March 15th. I flew back to Florida on March 16th, and the whole U.S. was shut down that day.
Yeah.
So from there, I just had my house, and I love to perform. I'm also a writer, professor, a coach.
Yeah.
So I started coaching people on Zoom. I started writing on Zoom. I started doing like readings on Zoom, just so I can keep the creativity going. And Zoom became my best friend. If you needed me in a reading, I was there. I have a couple plays that I've written, and I brought people in. Fulton, who was my stage manager for this show, he directed one of the plays that I had a reading for.
So what do you think, under the conditions that we're living in now, what do you think is the future of black theater?
Well, black theater, if we can get along, and I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about the world.
Yeah,
if we can get along, right now black theater can do what it did back in the times that Broadway was starting, because it was the black theater that made people want to come to Broadway.
Absolutely.
It was the entertainment and the festivities that were with it, the lights, the sound, the dance, and that was all of that. And that's how Broadway came about. So right now we're in a very we're in a very critical moment right now.
Yeah.
So we can do that same thing. We can come on as long as we keep the arts going, as long as we support each other.
Yes.
That's very important. As long as we support each other, this is a very, very critical time that we can be a rebirth of theater.
Right.
Because right now there are a lot of shows closing down for different reasons. COVID has a lot to do with it, but at the same time, this is a blessing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I took this time, and people have to be entertained.
Absolutely.
So I know
Absolutely.
for myself, I try to stay as healthy as possible. I try to work out as much as possible. And I try to give these people the show that they deserve.
2 more questions.
Okay.
One is, what is your mindset when you portray a real person versus a fictionalized person?
Well, my mindset is pretty much the same because I make that person real to me no matter what. It's funny. I was just coaching an actor on yesterday, and he was asking me, how do he approach the role? I said the first thing you do is you take your character's name, and you take that character's name, and you put it at the front of that play. So if you're doing a play like A Soldier's Play by Charles Fuller, and you're playing Corporal Cobb, as you're doing your research, you need to change the name of that play to Corporal Cobb and A Soldier's Play.
Yeah.
Because it heightens your intentions. So when it comes to my characters, I have an approach that calls on the spirit to really, really jump in. And whether the character is a real person, like Sugar Ray, or whether the person is a fictional person, like Levy from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Right.
I'm giving it everything because in my mind, that person is real because I'm real and I'm about to become them.
Yeah. Where can people find you on your social media platforms?
Facebook is Reginald L. Wilson. Instagram is one Reggie Lee.
Reginald, thank you so very much for your time. I enjoyed watching Sugar Ray. It brought back so many memories for me as a kid because I lived in Harlem during those days when Sugar Ray owned the bar at the Teresa Hotel. So I remember you brought back so many great memories about the traditional boxing world.
Yeah.
You brought back great memories about the sweet science and about the world of boxing as it was when I was growing up as a kid. And brother, I want to say thank you so very much again for your time.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. That's what we need. We need people like you to come and support.
I appreciate that. Take care.
Thank you very much.